Welcome to Clock Management. I'm your host, Justin, and as always, I'm joined by my co host, Perry Cooley. Uh,
What up? What up, my dude?
what up? Just a reminder to everyone out there, follow us on Twitter. We're giving away a Le'Veon Bell autographed jersey. As soon as we get to 300 followers, we're quickly approaching that, so make sure you get in. You can find our podcasts on Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Breaker, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, and as always on YouTube, so you can see our pretty faces and
I'm im-
Perry's amazing beard.
Impressed you got through that list without stuttering.
Right, right. I've been rehearsing that for about 8 hours straight. So uh, this our Friday news segment. We decided to start doing these so we could keep you guys a little bit more up to date on things happening as they happen. It's going to be a little bit quicker, a little bit faster, a little bit more loose.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're going to start having a couple drinks while we do this. So, Perry, what you got over there that you're drinking on?
I've got a beer. It's a Black House Coffee Stout from Modern Times. It's delicious. It's one of my favorite beers that I found when I was living down in California.
I'm super jealous because I love any beer that incorporates coffee.
Right?
Yeah.
What do you have
Uh,
tonight?
I'm drinking a Moscow Mule. It's not a beer, but it's also delicious. I'm not too fancy, so there's no tin cup because we decided to keep it loose and relax.
Yeah, just the right amount of fans.
Right? Yeah, and you don't want too much fans, or you'll get fans all in your pants.
Yeah, jeez.
All right.
All right, let's move
So
on here.
yeah, I'm gonna get us into some football here. I think that's why people are here.
Okay.
So I'm gonna get into the news that nobody cares about. So starting us out there, we got insert coach's name here says insert player's name here looks the best he has ever looked.
Ooh.
Russell Wilson compares DK Metcalf to LeBron James. Whew,
Yeah.
right?
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
wow.
Antonio Brown arrives to camp in a hot air balloon. Jalen Ramsey arrives to camp in a Brinks truck. And Perry Cooley arrives to work in a 95 Volvo wagon. News nobody cares about.
No AC in that Volvo wagon.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's
amazing.
yeah, it's hot out here in Oregon right now, man.
Yeah, and all that hot air. I mean, that's you and Antonio Brown got a lot in common there on how you get to work.
Yeah, I know. But it makes my fantasy takes fire. So,
That's true.
yeah.
And I mean, with all that hot air, you got to be flying to work. So,
Yeah, I get there quick, man.
all right, Perry, you want to kick off some news people actually care about?
Yeah, I do. The first piece of news, we're just going to kind of run through these pretty quick. We can chat about them if we want to. First one here is Jerick McKinnon is opening up camp on the pup list, the active pup list. I think we expected this.
Yeah.
Any surprise to you?
No, no, it's nothing to worry about. It's exact, like you said, something that we expected. I think he'll be fine. Come off of that here shortly and just be a normal player. I'm more worried with all the talk about Coleman doing so, like being the new guy there.
Yeah, I think I personally would have Tevin Coleman ahead of Jerick McKinnon, but
Yeah,
we'll
and
see. We'll
it's
see how it
crazy
plays out.
because right after the Coleman signing, that's not what people were saying. McKinnon was
No.
still way higher for in all ADPs and stuff, and so it's interesting to see that shift. I mean, training camp will really start to hash that out, and
Yeah.
I'm sure McKinnon will look the best that he's ever looked.
Yeah, definitely. Next piece of news: Marquez Valdez-Scantling is reported to be clearly ahead of Equinemius St. Brown. I don't know why this is news. I feel like everybody knew this was coming.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Ahead of who?
Equinemius St. Brown.
Yeah, like that's. I'm not sure why that's being talked about. It's did you know Juju Smith-Schuster is the number one wide receiver on the Steelers?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Okay. So it's like, why is that being announced like it's news?
Yeah, I don't know. I will. I do want to ask you. Who are you taking in the wide receiver pool up there in Green Bay other than Devontae Adams? Are you going to take MVS or are you going to take Geronimo Allison?
See, now that's the real question. Um, I'm still
What
leaning Allison right now. Uh,
I I am as well. One of them is definitely going to do well.
yeah,
Both of them could do well.
yeah, and it's again that's another one where I'm just gonna see who Aaron Rodgers is like favoring in camp. Aaron Rodgers will tell you who he likes, so that's a good thing about Aaron Rodgers. He doesn't give you the coach talk. He'll talk about a specific player when they're picking up the offense and doing good.
Yeah, I do appreciate that about him. Moving on, Josh Jacobs, the rookie running back there in Oakland. Oakland for now, soon to be Las Vegas. Head coach John Gruden is suggesting to the press that running back Josh Jacobs must earn his role for 2019, even though he was the only running back taken. He went in the first round, and their other option is Doug Martin.
Yeah, yeah, the muscle hamster. I think he
Yeah,
prefers to not be called.
yeah. I mean, that'd be ridiculous if Josh Jacobs wasn't the starter. It would look so bad on the Raiders organization.
And
Uh,
Barry, I want to apologize to you real quick just because we just lost Doug Martin as a listener.
I'm okay with that. I think I'm okay with that.
Yeah, yeah.
John Gruden, man, he says all kinds of things. Remember, this is a guy that's quoted during a Monday Night Football cast as saying, anything goes on any given Sunday, especially Monday night.
Oh, wise words from a wise man.
Wow. Yeah, that'll make you think till you go cross-eyed. All right. Tyreek Hill's present for the opening of camp. No surprises there. I don't think he wants to stir the pot at all right now. I think he wants as little news as possible. Uh, Sterling Shepard participates in individual drills. I think that's great considering the broken thumb that he's been suffering. But Corey Coleman, his teammate, tore his ACL today.
Yeah, which I mean, both those horrible news for those players. Like, I feel bad. You never want to see a player get injured, but at the same time, that makes my confidence in Ingram just keep going up.
Yeah, I agree. I do think Sterling Shepard actually gains a little bit here with Corey Coleman not playing at all this year. The fact that Sterling Shepard's it's this early and he's already coming back, it's probably a good thing. And it's a broken thumb. He'll be fine by the time the season rolls around.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, but I just love that. Well, the I mean, like I said, I don't love the injury, but the opportunity that creates for Ingram to get
Yeah,
a couple more targets.
yeah. Ingram moves up in my list for sure. Todd Gurley is going to start participating in practice on Saturday. That's great news, I think, for Todd Gurley owners. If his knee was as bad as we think it is, I don't think he'd be playing this early, right? They'd probably rest him as long as they can.
Yeah, I think we'll wait and see. I want to see when they say active, how active,
Yeah,
how
I'm
many reps he's taking, things like that.
I'm sure he's going to be on a serious pitch count for sure. Antonio Brown was placed on the NFL list. I guess it's a very minor, undisclosed injury. I think that we would have heard more about it if it was something to be really worried about. I just hope it's not one of those like nagging hamstring or like a foot injury. A lot of times those will just go on all season.
Yeah, but apparently it wasn't any injury that would keep him off of a hot air balloon.
Right. Yeah. Kalen Balaj, I think this is news that's been kind of blown up in the last 24 hours. Could earn the starting job, is what is being reported. I think that's awesome for Kalen Balaj.
Yeah, that's I feel like the most unexpected, like I don't know, the biggest jump in news or unexpected news coming out of camps. Besides injuries, you never expect those.
Yeah, it certainly moves Kenyon Drake down my
Yeah,
list. It just, I wasn't in love with Kenyon Drake, but what I thought I was getting from him was like a
the back.
75, like at least a 75% share back.
Yeah,
I mean, now we could see 50-50 or worse. I mean, he could not be the starter, right? That's what we're reading. So, yeah, let's see. Anything else that we need to talk about?
uh,
DeAndre, Oh, DeAndre Hopkins gets removed from the pup list. I know you were just saying that you hadn't really heard about the ankle. I did hear about it in, I don't know. I can't even remember when I heard about it, but I knew he had an ankle thing going on. Obviously, it's not a big deal. They could have just left him on the pup list for a while if it was a big deal and let him heal more. DeAndre Hopkins is still a slam dunk, in my opinion.
Yeah, he doesn't move anywhere from on my list.
Yeah. Derrick Henry left practice today with an undisclosed injury. No other news to that. They just say he's day to day. I think it's something that we should monitor. Derrick Henry obviously blew up at the end of last season. I think people are drafting him in the hopes that that continues. Personally, I don't have him quite as high as everybody else,
No,
but
yeah,
I
definitely agree with you on that.
yeah. Uh,
I think that's just a common trend with fantasy football players is they expect what happened at the end of the last year just to continue on as if this year is just a continuation of that year.
Yeah, they're going to be running a whole new offense up there in Tennessee. I do think he's going to get more work than what he has been getting. I think the coaching staff did him a disservice by just letting him rot for so many years up there. He's a super talented running back, and I don't know. I hope he does well. I hope he's not injured. So we'll see. And then I think we covered Corey Coleman. The two big pieces of news today: Ezekiel Elliott, Melvin Gordon. You want to chat about Melvin Gordon?
Yeah, that one I think is the biggest scare. He like I'd say in another week if he's not at camp, he's gonna start moving down on my list. Like that's a scary thing. He's willing to hold out. The team's willing to hold out. They feel like they have some leverage with Austin Eckler and the other depth there and at running back. So I think that's the biggest issue on any team in the NFL right now.
I'll be completely honest with you, Justin. I'm not taking Melvin Gordon unless he's my third running back.
Wow. See, I think I'd be willing to hope and pray and take him as my second running back. But, yeah, I can't take him in the first round.
I think Lev Bell set a precedent last year.
Yeah, that's the problem.
And Melvin Gordon, he wants to get paid, man. And the Chargers don't want to pay him. I don't want any piece of Melvin Gordon, and unfortunately I do have him in a dynasty league, and I already traded Todd Gurley away in that dynasty league to my brother.
I'll give you Geis for him right now.
Shut up. So anyways, any redraft right now, I'm not touching Melvin Gordon unless he's my third running back, and I know that's crazy. I know that means I'm not getting him. But man, there's a good chance he doesn't play at all.
Yeah, we're definitely going to work out a trade there, but later.
Okay.
So anyway,
all right,
and
then
to the Zeke. Yeah.
So you say Melvin Gordon was the biggest news. I kind of think this might be the biggest news because we knew what was going on with Melvin Gordon.
No, so
Zeke
Zeke is going to be back at practice, and what's the date today?
26th, July 26th,
yeah,
2019.
Zeke will be back in, I'm going to say 9 days to practice.
Really? I hope you're right. I really hope you're right.
And here's why. With his contract, he still has 2 years left on his contract. If he doesn't report by August 6th, then he won't be a free agent. This year won't count as a full year for him, so he won't be a free agent. So he's going to have to report. I think this is still just grandstanding for him to try and position himself to be like, look, guys, I'm serious about this. I want a contract next year.
I mean, Lev Bell had the same situation, right? He wasn't a free agent because he didn't show up.
Yeah. But I don't think that Zeke is willing to sit out an entire season.
Yeah. I do agree that it's not as serious as Melvin Gordon, but it does make me worry. I think I've already mentioned that if I had the number one overall pick in half point or full point PPR, I'd take Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah,
Oh
if it
man.
was today, I think I probably would take either McCaffrey or Saquon, either one of those.
Y-
Um,
Yeah.
but if it's today, but give me a week and a couple days, and I'm pretty sure I'll be taking Zeke again.
Okay. Yeah, I hope you're right, man. Because, just on a personal note, I love fantasy football. Obviously, I do this podcast with you. It's not fun when players don't play
Oh yeah, this is
for
the
reasons
worst
like
part of
this.
fantasy football. Like, if we gotta do analysis of players' skill and like their opportunity and their film, how they're going to do against these teams week to week, that's fun. Like, I love sitting
Yeah.
down analyzing that stuff. This stuff is hard to do because you don't know. You're dealing with personalities. You're dealing with agents, with money. That's not my expertise.
Yeah. It's not fun, man. I want to see the players play. I know the players want to play. I know they also want to get paid, but man, I do fantasy football. I want to see the players play. But all right, moving on. Another piece of news that I really am actually kind of excited about. Dwayne Haskins, rookie quarterback for that team up there in Washington D.C., has been splitting reps
They have a
behind.
quarterback.
They have three behind Case Keenum and Colt McCoy. Case Keenum, oh boy, we got Case Keenum last year in Denver, and if you guys haven't figured out yet, I'm a huge Denver fan. It's a rough year. It was a really rough year. We missed out on Kirk Cousins, and the consolation prize was Case Keenum, and the bonus prize with Case Keenum was a really mediocre year where we missed the playoffs. So
Yeah,
I
the
don't.
bonus prize was also Joe Flacco.
Yep. Yeah, that was awesome. We'll see how he does. I have faith. Joe Flacco is going to have an awesome year this year. Not drafting him though. I think if Dwayne Haskins can steal that starting role, it's actually really good for Washington. I think it's really good for the Washington players. I think it's really good for that team. They need youth. They need something up there.
Yeah, I mean, there's no reason not to.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, what do they have to lose?
Speaking of youth, who's their starting running back?
Oh my gosh. Dude, Adrian Peterson. Oh, we should have added this in the news nobody cares about. Isn't he bankrupt?
Oh yeah, yes, yes he is. Third and 33 years old as a running back in the NFL. Like that, that's not a good combination. Right,
No, I don't think there's any huge paychecks coming his way.
yeah,
But
9 out of 10 doctors don't recommend that.
yeah. The 10th doctor didn't show up.
the
Carson
tenth
Wentz.
the 10th doctor was also the medical examiner there down there in Washington D.C., and that's why every player there has an infection.
Yeah, oh my God. Poor Darius, guys. Carson Wentz shows up at camp leaner and without restrictions.
Oh
Cool.
yeah, yeah, I don't care about that at all.
I
Sorry.
know you don't.
Oh man, I'm drawing a blank on his name right now. The quarterback in for the Ravens. Ah,
Oh, Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson showed up. I think he said he put on 15 pounds of muscle.
Cool.
Yeah, I like he.
Is it in his throwing arm?
No, it's probably in his legs. Who
Yeah,
cares about his
probably.
throwing arm?
I know. No, in all seriousness, Lamar Jackson is a great fantasy pick this year. Like those late round quarterbacks that we've talked about over and over and over again. He's going to score you points. So,
Yeah, I was just reading an article about how there's a lot of hype right now about Kyler Murray and
yeah.
as a mobile quarterback, and it made everyone forget about fucking Jackson.
Okay. Uh, hey, Justin,
Yep.
do you believe in magic?
Oh
'Cause-
man, I want
'cause-
to. I want to so bad.
well, I do. I told you. And Ryan Fitzpatrick opens up camp with the first team
He
down there.
always does.
I know, man, but it's got to
He
start
is-
somewhere, right?
He's the best quarterback for the first 3 weeks.
Hey, man, that's magic.
Yeah, it is.
He's got He's got something up his sleeve, dude. He's gonna pull something out of that Wizards hat.
Yep, and then eventually someone exposes the trick.
He's my beard brother, dude. All right.
I mean, he does have an amazing beard, and when he went on that amazing streak last year, that great leprechaun outfit he came out to the
Oh
post
my God.
game media conference. That was magical right there. It made me believe in magic right then.
On the fantasy side of it, I really think it's kind of a little bit of an upgrade to the receivers out there in a deeper league, especially early on in the season, like Justin was saying. They're gonna He's gonna show up and he's gonna throw the ball. There's no doubt about it. Ryan Fitzpatrick is gonna throw the ball.
Ryan
So
Fitzpatrick has never seen a wide receiver that he did not want to throw the ball to.
absolutely. Even if all he saw was one little piece between four
Defenders.
DBs,
Yep.
he's still gonna throw that ball.
Which is,
Okay.
like you said, great for fantasy.
Yeah. Julio Jones quoted he might mess around for 3,000 yards this year. Okay.
Not sure what that means.
I might mess around and make $1 million, but probably not.
There's a running
I
back that said something similar too. I forgot who, but I think he saw
yeah,
Julio's quote and he is like, "Oh, I could do that."
yeah. I I think Julio Jones is a really good wide receiver. I've got him as my number 3 wide receiver, but I don't think he's going to get 3,000 yards.
No, yeah, it's
Yeah. He would have to more than let's see. He
he's
can
he's a great wide receiver. Apparently, not that great at reading statistics.
so the most receiving yards in NFL history in a season is by Calvin Johnson, I believe, and I don't even think he broke 2,000.
Yeah, there's no way it's close to 3,000.
No, yeah.
Um,
Um,
Go ahead and move on. I'm gonna fact check this.
what do you fact check? You think it's Jerry Rice?
No, 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 no. I just want to see what it is.
Here, I've got it right here. I've got it right here.
Oh, okay, okay.
1,964 yards in 2012. Yeah. Julio did have 1,871 yards in 2015, which is second. So
Yeah, I
there's
mean,
that.
a more believable thing would have been like 2,000 yards, and people would have been like, "Whoa, maybe he will."
Yeah, I know. But hey, man, these guys, they're all so competitive. They got to aim high. I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. Um,
Yeah, at least he didn't show up in a Brinks truck.
the last two pieces of news I wanted to cover, both with the Texans. Will Fuller participated in training camp today. I think that is awesome news. Will Fuller is a super talent, uh, and I think this helps DeAndre Hopkins. What do you think? You like
Oh
Will Fuller at all this year?
man, I've always loved Will Fuller. I've had him on my team several times. Like, and yeah, like you said, Hopkins does better when Fuller's on the field, statistically. So it's gonna help him. And Fuller is great. The only issue is Fuller never stays healthy. He's great when he's out there. It's just he can't stay on that field.
Yeah, great for best ball maybe this year, but
Yeah.
and then last piece, actually, let's do let's do two more. The next one was J.J. Watt is activated from the pup list. That's good. It's good for the Texans defense. I really, J.J. Watt deserves to win a Super Bowl. I hope that guy wins one here eventually, but he's a stand-up guy. He's a class act.
I agree. Like, he really deserves one. I just hope he gets traded to the 49ers, and then that's where he wins it.
Wow. Oh man,
Oh,
there
no.
is no way the 49ers win a Super Bowl this year. There is no way. And then okay, let's end here with Michael Thomas will not attend training camp without a new deal. Another holdout. Another really talented, awesome player. A lot of people are very excited about him this year, and we have a holdout. I kind of the same thing that we are talking about with Zeke. It's just I get it. It's a business, but it's not fun for us.
Yeah, I was reading some reports that are saying that he's expected to report to camp in August. I don't know how reliable those ones are, but I'm not as confident in my prediction about Zeke showing up or I'm more confident in my prediction of Zeke showing up than I am in that.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. I think that's all the news that we needed to cover today. Justin, what are we doing Tuesday for the main show?
Yeah, so Tuesday night we'll be doing our podcast, our normal podcast that we've been doing, and we'll be covering wide receivers. We're gonna be looking. We're each gonna be coming up with a list of a few wide receivers for each other, and we're gonna choose 2 wide receivers that are close in ADP, and kind of break down which one we prefer out of the 2 and why. So if you guys have any questions on any wide receivers that you might want to get some input on before you do your draft or whatever, hit us up on Twitter, in the comments here on YouTube, just anywhere you can find us or get a hold of us. I actually put our email in the about us section or info section here on YouTube, so you could email us as well, however you want.
Yeah, yeah, guys. Any 2 people or 2 wide receivers around the same ADP that you're having trouble deciding, throw them up there, and Justin and I will kind of debate it and give you our opinion, who we would pick, basically. So,
and obviously mine's going to be the right one, so just go with whatever I say.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
You know what? All right. Because of that, Justin, I challenge you. We're going to keep a record of who we pick in this little exercise that we're doing Tuesday, and we'll have a little bet at the end of the season to see who does better.
Gallon challenge.
Oof. Okay, you're on.
Yes.
Gallon challenge.
Oh my God, this is happiest day of my life. All right, well, thank you for joining us, everyone, and make sure you follow us again on Twitter at Management Clock. Win that Le'Veon Bell jersey. We'll see you guys Tuesday night.
I'm lactose intolerant.